Woo woo woo. Woo woo woo. Woo 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 woo. Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. It's time for our every other week live streams. Sorry I didn't do one last night. I was busy. I had a family thing to go to. But tonight we are catching up on a Friday with one of these sweet ass live streams. And also, I had a family thing last night, but I also had a terrible case of ligma. So I had to kind of hang back because of that. Unfortunately, you guys know how it is. I'm sure you guys have had ligma before. It's not too serious though. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me and my case of the ligma. Everything will be okay. Everything will be all right. So don't worry about that. Everything will be cool. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Like I said, it's our every other week super chat live streams where I just kind of take your questions and comments and opinions and answer them as fast as I can to the best of my abilities. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, sorry we didn't get this done yesterday, but we are here. It's Friday. I'm going to be live streaming for the next 2 hours, I think. So let's get these questions in. And remember, the more you super chat, the longer your question stays up. I apologize if there are questions that I do not get to. I don't always get to all of them, but let's go. I'm going to try to take a few down here to start. This guy asks why I don't like Dave Rubin, and it's because he's an intellectually lazy rube with an annoying voice. Who is not very principled and pretty much says whatever people tell him to say who are paying him money. Let's see. Do I believe in subliminal messaging in songs? Not really. I mean, I think maybe it's possible, but here's the thing. Like, I don't personally believe that you could just like, I don't know, put kill yourself like in reverse into a song and like somebody's going to do it. I honestly don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that that's the case. And even if you do try to do that, like if somebody's going to go and do that in reaction to some kind of suggestion, it doesn't even have to be like suicide or anything like that. Like someone could suggest that you go kill someone in a song, go do drugs in a song or whatever. If you'll just get up and do anything that a piece of entertainment tells you, clearly there's much more there at work personally. Than just the entertainment telling you to go do that. Maybe you're depressed. Maybe you're not that well educated. Maybe you don't know any better. Maybe you weren't parented well and no one's guiding you to make better decisions. There's always something else at play. All right, let's get into James. Thank you very much. Are you ever going to sell some more mason jars with Death Grips pod inside? I actually have money to buy one now. I will be selling more mason jars. However, I'm probably going to have a new podcast in there as well. I'll probably work the Death Grips pod in there too. But I'll probably try to come up with a new podcast as well to sort of incentivize people more to pick it up. But yes, we will be doing more of those. Maybe with a different design, maybe not. We'll see. Thoughts on controversy surrounding X's death and how people have reacted to it. I have sort of made a statement or, sort of said that it's unfortunate the way he passed. I'm unaware of any controversy outside of like some people not really caring that he passed away. I'm not really aware if there's anything going on with the people they've arrested in relation to his death. It's just sort of unfortunate that he had to go out that way. And, that's really kind of all there is to it on my end, honestly. If there's any kind of greater controversy outside of that, I'm unaware and probably will be unable to comment. But thank you very much for donating and supporting. Commissioner Lando asks, album battle, Folsom Prison versus San Quentin, Pom Pom versus Before. Okay, well, Folsom hands down. Pom Pom hands down. I'll say Phaedra. I'll say Labor Days. And were those huge ass donations from a couple of streams ago real? Yes, they were real. That Akira guy that was donated like $1,500 and that shit was real. So yeah, don't worry about that. That was crazy. And I found that person on Twitter and I said, hey, can I like send you a shirt or something? And they just said no, I'm good. So pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Let's say Sam Watson. How you doing, dude? Hey, London jazz scene is hot right now, like you mentioned in the train video. So you should review Blinker and Moses. Binker and Moses is actually on my to listen list because that's a pretty sweet live album. So I'm trying to get more into the stuff going on in the UK right now, as far as the jazz scene is concerned. And believe me, that album is already on my to listen list. I believe there's also like a Wayne Scofferty album I'm trying to touch down on in the next few weeks too. Will I ever give Say Anything a chance? I'm aware of Say Anything. I mean, they were popular when I was in college, and even then I didn't really care for their stuff. But that's just me. I guess I'm not a really big pop punk emo fusion guy, but such is life, I suppose. Again, like the 2000s era stuff I didn't really care for. The latest material that they might have been dropping I haven't really checked out or gotten too deep into, but thank you very much for supporting Luke. What are my thoughts on Dash? I think he's a super underrated artist. I love his flow and dark atmosphere. King of the Underground, Loose Screw was unreal. Personally, I'm not that much into his stuff. I mean, I think there are a lot of other comparable artists out there that have a similarly raspy flow and kind of dark delivery, and that's totally cool and everything, but I find it to be a little one-dimensional in his case, as I do with some of the other people who are kind of chasing after a similarly dark, moody, Memphis-influenced sound. It's okay. It's passable. I'm not going to totally throw it out the window or anything, but it doesn't get me going. I feel like Flume's Skin deserves a much higher rating for all of its qualities. Contradict my statement. Well, I feel like everything that I would contradict your statement with would just kind of come straight out of my review. I just find a lot of the production to be gaudy and the guest singers not really all that likable, but hey, I guess I can give him credit for kind of taking a more underground electronic sound and bringing it to a wider audience. What is the best Brockhampton song, and is Wolf still the best Tyler album? I mean, I don't know. Brockhampton, best song, Heat, maybe Chain, Star. As not Chain, but Gold. Boogie's pretty high up there. But I still think Flower Boy is better than Wolf. So here we go. Have I ever checked out Fat Freddy's Drop Based of a True Story? Best New Zealand album ever. No, I have not. But I will take that recommendation. And a few of the recommendations, I actually checked out all the recommendations from the past live stream, and I threw some of the good ones up on Twitter. A pretty sweet Polish black metal album that I actually forgot I listened to the year it came out, but I guess I didn't really kind of get to it. I posted up, and that was pretty cool, along with a few other artists and recommendations that people made during the last one that I hadn't heard before, too. Let's see. Favorite record store in CT, Telegraph in New London is a great spot, IMO. Yes, I know the people that run that place, and it is a good place. They're good. Red Scroll is good. I believe it's Wayback Records is really good as well. And I don't know, if you go to a local record store in CT and you ask, they'll probably be able to tell you, but there is a mailing list that you can get on for record shows in the New England area. And some of the shop owners in CT actually head out to some of these things and like set up booths and stuff. And so there's always that option too. So if you're in the New England area, there are some like mailing lists for like record shows and that sort of thing. So where do you think rock needs to go to become an interesting genre again? I personally feel like there are interesting rock records coming out. Quite a few positive reviews I've given this year have been to rock records. I just positively reviewed that New Zealand Ardor album. The thing with rock music is that it's just not currently the zeitgeist right now. It's not the mainstream. It's not the most popular thing. So, I think there are interesting things going on in the rock underground. I think there are interesting things like Jack White's latest record. However, the younger audience doesn't seem to be interested. There's other stuff they'd rather listen to, and that's totally fine. Each generation is going to define itself artistically by different means. So, just is what it is. I guess maybe in some sense it sucks that it's not as popular as it used to be, but in a lot of respects, rock has always kind of been the underdog. And now it's just kind of in that position again. What are your thoughts about the Smashing Pumpkins? What's your favorite album? I recently had seen them in concert here in Houston. They rocked out. That sounds pretty cool. It's good that they're still kicking ass live. Siamese is great. Either Siamese or Melancholy are are my two favorites. Yeah, you know, it kind of flies in the face of Billy Corgan, who once said that Smashing Pumpkins would be dead if they ever came back and they were just playing the hits and everything. But hey, you know what? Like, at least the band is back together. At least they're sounding good live from what you're describing. And from what I understand, they're writing new material. So, you know, maybe the new stuff will actually be good. Hey, Melon, thoughts on Jedi Mind Tricks? Really enjoy earlier albums myself. Yeah, the debut Jedi Mind Tricks record is a classic underground hip-hop record. Stoop's production is probably my favorite part of the group. Yeah, it's like pretty psychedelic and grimy and lo-fi to an extent. Not the kind of lo-fi that people know it to be today, but it's pretty grimy production. So yeah, first Jedi Mind Tricks record is nasty as fuck. Thank you very much. And thank you to everybody else who has been asking questions so far too. Of these artists, who would I consider doing a worst to best on? Well, the next worst to best that I'm working on at the moment is of the Talking Heads. So I'm kind of listening through once again to their whole discography and kind of reorienting it. And then from there, I will start to work on kind of writing and scripting the video. But that's the next one that I'm doing right now. As for the list that you've kind of provided here, maybe Death Grips and Godspeed, maybe Swans. 9 Inch Nails might be interesting too, but yeah. Anthony Anderson KJ. Thank you, Anthony, for always coming back. Spend $15 on ingredients to make $5 worth of granola. Thanks for the advice, Anthony. Also check out GMC Faux Show. If you haven't, Boss NGA is one of the best music videos ever. Keep the cooking going. Well, the thing is, with those $15 of ingredients, you could actually make more granola. You know, because here's the thing. At the store, they'll charge you maybe 2 times what they would charge you for a bag of cereal, a box of cereal, when it's just like half the size of a box of cereal for just a little bit of granola. You know, like what I made in that bag in the store with those $15 of ingredients actually could have been like $30 of granola if they divvied it up in all those like little like vacuum sealed bags. So I mean, fuck that. You know, fuck that. And with the rest of those ingredients, I could make $60 more worth of granola. So hell yeah. All right. Hey, Anthony. I know you don't want to give away spoilers, but who had the better verse on the new Denzel Curry song, Peggy or Zillakami? Ooh. I think I like Peggy's a little bit more, though Zilla was nasty as fuck on the song. I'm not going to deny that. Samuel, hi from New Zealand. Can you recommend some great Japanese noise rock or pop? I'm craving more after listening to the Haru Nemuri. Also, did I catch the new Rosalia track? I will be talking about the new Rosalia track in the next weekly track roundup. But as far as like more stuff, maybe kind of like Japanese noise rock and pop, I would check out Melt Banana. Please check out Melt Banana. Excellent band. Excellent band. Let me see. Have I ever listened to Steam Powered Giraffe? And if I have, will I review them at some point? If I haven't, I think I would really dig them. I will take that reco and put it in my pocket, as I've not heard the band before, but I'll just check them out and I'll see what's up. Thank you very much. Have I checked out Alpha Mist? Also recommended some new wave and pop albums. Love these. P.S. Midnight Vultures is the best Beck album. I don't know. I mean, I could see why people would like that record. It is kind of silly and tongue-in-cheek and quirky. I myself, you know, do prefer Odelay and One Foot in the Grave. But yeah, that's a pretty fun one. But I did end up checking out Alpha Mist. I wasn't all that crazy about it, though. I have to admit, I didn't end up kind of sharing that one because I wasn't too nutso about it. But thank you very much, Danilo. Oliver, what did I think of the Happy Meal Limited EP? Also, have I checked out the other exciting bands from London like Shame and Goat Girl? I have checked out Shame and Goat Girl. Was not really crazy about either, especially Shame, who to me just kind of sounded like a generic post-punk band. I just didn't really kind of get the hype. As far as the Happy Meal EP, I might be talking about this in a quickie at some point or something. I don't know, or I'll be addressing it in a Why You Know review. But I wasn't that crazy about the EP, honestly. Like, I thought that it just didn't really sound as bold and as out there as the singles they had released up until that point. In my opinion, it kind of sounded like, I don't know, like a weird new wave throwback with kind of a goth tinge and maybe slightly more modern and synthetic production and stuff. Outside of that, it just didn't really sound as as challenging and as weird as songs like To the Jaw, like that shit. So I don't know. It reminded me of some 80s bands that I liked and I thought were really cool, but it just didn't really kind of, I don't know, stand on its own 2 feet, in my opinion. It just felt like it was kind of crutched on its influences. I've been trying hard to get into metal, but I can say that the only metal records I like entirely are Ghosts, Melior, and Code Orange's Forever. Can I give some more recommendations for records like those? I mean, as far as Ghost is concerned, like, you got to check out some Blue Oyster Cult. You've got to check out some Alice Cooper. You've got to check out some frickin' Merciful Fate. Like, you know, the first several Merciful Fate records. If you like Ghost, I think you'll get into that. As far as Code Orange's Forever, I mean, I don't know, get into some metalcore stuff. Get into some Converge. Get into maybe some Hatebreed or something like that. Maybe get into some Nine Inch Nails for the more industrial side of things there. Maybe get into some System of a Down. Fucking Toxicity, their debut record, is fantastic. You know, if you want to go classic, check out like the first few Black Sabbath records, first handful of Iron Maiden records, Power Slave, you know, some of the high points of Judas Priest's career in the late 70s or the 80s. So, you know, that's where I recommend kind of getting a start. Hey, Anthony, I'm an artist from Brazil and would love if you checked out my project. Search Funatish on YouTube. All right, I'll take that recommendation. I'll see what's up. And everybody else should try it out as well, see what's going on. Vinnie Mac asks, Yo, Anthony, have you heard of an alternative UK hip-hop grime group called Bashi Kings? I have not. Released 12 albums in 2016? 12? I have not had this recommended to me, so I don't know. 12 albums in 2016 sounds insane. I'll try some of it out, but I guess I'll see if it sticks with me. 12 records. Hey, Melon, thoughts on Jedi Mind Tricks? Is this a repeat question? I was talking about this earlier. I said that I think their first record is fantastic. But I think you might have sent this question in twice. But yeah, I do dig their debut record quite a bit. And yes, Vinny Paz is a legend. I follow that guy on Instagram. What's my take on the sexual assault accusations against Maynard James Keenan? I mean, I read the accusation. I saw his response. At the end of the day, it's just kind of like an accusation and a response. You know, it doesn't really seem to be going much further than that. I'm just not really sure what to make of it beyond there. I mean, I'm not a judge and I'm not, sort of seeing it go in like a legal direction or anything like that. I don't even know if like the opportunity for that to be the case is going to come up. So yeah, I don't really have any thoughts on it personally, but still thank you for supporting Jab. Hey Melon, thoughts on the new A$AP Rocky album Testing? Also thoughts on Potato Salad by A$AP Rocky and Tyler. Potato Salad is fucking hot. And Testing, I did a review of it. Didn't care for it at all. I thought the production was uninteresting. Rocky's lyrics were more underwritten than usual. The hooks were not really there, and I thought his singing all over the record was awful. So, yeah. What's The Cure's best album? I don't know. It might be Pornography or something like that. Although I will say, I think Kiss Me is highly underrated. That album is easily better than Three Imaginary Boys, which I think consistently is ranked higher. But I think Kiss Me is a better record. Am I going to watch The Blood Moon tonight? I don't know. I'm kind of hanging out with you guys right now on the internet. I don't see no Blood Moon right now, but I don't know. I guess I'll peep it. I'll peep it when I step outside and hit the gym after this shit. Thank you very much, Jude. Fang asks, hey, Anthony, have I tried Sen Yewa's music at all? If you haven't, you should check out their album called Menjadi. It's really dark and experimental. Sounds interesting to me. I'll put that recommendation in my pocket. I don't know how old that record is, but something dark and experimental and what sounds kind of foreign could be kind of cool. What do I think about the new Pig Destroyer track, Army of Cops? Seems to be a lot of torn feedback. They'll never make another PITY, obviously. Still, though, I can dig it for what it is. I haven't heard the new track yet, honestly, but yeah, I think the Prowler in the Yard era for Pig Destroyer is kind of over and gone. It's kind of been over and gone for a while now, and I just think kind of it is what it is. And I think as a result of them needing to try to do different things, they're trying to experiment more with noise, as you're kind of talking about here, because how else are they going to keep it abrasive while also trying something different? So I don't know. I'm still looking forward to trying it. Again, haven't tried it yet, but most likely we'll be talking about it in the next but weekly track roundup. And overall, I am looking forward to the new record because, I mean, I gave the last record a positive review. They're one of the few bands in their genre that is still pretty cutting edge and important. So, again, regardless, still looking forward to a new Pig Destroyer record. Let's see. That's the one that's the one okay. You reviewed some J-pop. What are your thoughts on Utada Hikaru? Oh, have I reviewed that or Hikaru? I'm not even sure if I've. No, I haven't even heard that record. I don't even think I followed that artist, but it looks like she has a new one out this year. So I don't know. I'll just try to give it a shot. So sadly, I don't have any thoughts, Gabe, but I'll give her a new record a try and I'll see what's up. I'll see if it sticks with me. Funatish here again. You didn't answer my other question. What are some other your favorite Brazilian albums? Keep up good work. Oh, sorry, I didn't answer your other question. I apologize about that. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Os Mutantes, I dig them quite a bit. There was also somebody turning me on to what is the name? Jorge Ben from the last. Or George Ben from the last live stream, and I've been meaning to check out some of his biggest and best records. So, that's kind of my feels right now on that question. Sorry I didn't answer it earlier. I must not have read it. I'm a dum-dum. Hey, Marsni wanna make a weird pop ballad. I'm from. Oh, okay. So you're inviting another person from the live stream to make a weird pop band. I'm from Brasilia, Brazil. That's pretty cool. You should have left like some contact, like a Twitter handle or something. Hopefully you guys start a really good weird pop band together. And if it's really good, I can review it and give it a 10 out of 10. And then we can go from there. And then you guys can become the next, I don't know, fucking Drake. Become bigger than Drake. Just replace him. Hey, Anthony Fantano, asks Daniel. Nice nut video today. Great to see you do something more That Is the Plan-esque content. Also wondering if you've heard the artist Lady Lamb. I have. Isn't that like Lady Lamb and the Beekeeper or something? Or isn't that like the full name or whatever? Yeah, I think she's an okay songwriter if I'm thinking of the right person. I wish her tunes were a little bit more direct, though. They seem kind of... maybe not whimsical, but definitely obtuse in a very artsy way. But I don't really connect with them all that hard. Though I can see the talent and the complications that she kind of adds to her tracks. Is Brian Wilson one of the most influential people in music right now? I mean, yeah, most certainly. Much in the same way, like, I don't know, David Bowie is one of the most influential people in music right now. Like, he's a classic artist who came out with landmark records. So his influence is probably going to be felt for a very long time. Alex asks, thank you very much, saw a lot of love for Sleep's new album, but nobody really talked about another stoner rock veteran, Fu Manchu's new album, Clone of the Universe. Did I get a chance to listen? No, I didn't even know Fu Manchu dropped a new record, but I mean, honestly, I think that has a lot to do with just the way in which they dropped the record and the fact that it was like a third man release. Probably just gave it a lot more credibility and visibility than whatever the Fu Manchu record received. But thank you for the reminder of that. Nobody even recommend. You're the first fucking person to tell me that album came out. And I don't even remember seeing a PR email for it, honestly. So I tell you, I was totally in the dark on the existence of that album. So thank you for bringing it to my attention. Thoughts on the Hailstorm album? Do you listen to In This Moment? Plans to attend the Anna von Householf concert in New York City this October. Many thanks for turning me on to her music. That might be cool. I'm actually going to save this and try to remind myself to go to that, depending on what day it is. I have a few like speaking engagements in October, and it'll depend on if it clashes with that. But I have not tried the new Hailstorm album, so I'll have to give that a shot. Hopefully it's something like Anna von Hauswolf. I don't know. But I might check out her live show. That'd be cool. Mick Squiggins, thank you, Squiggins. Have I ever gotten the chance to see King Giz live? I have not. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to trying to do that at some point. Also, have I ever heard anything from producer L'Orange? He put out a new record recently. I did, but I thought the guy who he had rapping on the record was just really uninteresting. Like his flows and delivery just felt really soulless. Like he didn't, like there was no emotion to it. It was just like really cold and calculated and uninteresting to me. So I don't know. Usually I respect his production quite a bit, but the people who he usually has on his records, I'm not that interested in. What do I think is King Gizzard's best album? I think it's Nonagon, honestly. Yeah, I personally think it's Nonagon. Can I do a Beatles review and Wiz Khalifa Rolling Papers too? Maybe I might do a Beatles review one day for Classics Week or something at some point. But I personally cannot stay awake through a Wiz Khalifa album. He's just absolutely boring to me and just says nothing interesting, doesn't sound interesting, doesn't pick interesting production. There's literally nothing interesting about Wiz Khalifa's music. And I'll stand by that till the day I die. Hey, Anthony, could you give me a mini starter pack for West Coast hip hop? I don't know, Freestyle Fellowship, NWA, DJ Quick, obviously Snoop Dogg Doggy Style. Yeah, that's probably, obviously Tupac, obviously The Game. The documentary, Little B, that sort of thing. Maybe Mac Dre. I'd check out those artists, try out those artists. Oh, and also Cypress Hill, and obviously anything else connected to NWA, like some Ice Cube and that sort of thing. And YG's last album, and he has a new one coming out soon. And as long as we're talking about contemporaries, Kendrick. Ahoy Lemon, are there any modern hardcore punk bands you can recommend? Big fan of bands like Black Flag, Off, Glue, Germs. Love the vids. Keep shredding, bro. I haven't heard any hardcore punk this year that really kind of wowed me, honestly. Like maybe a few over the course of this decade here and there, but so far this year, I haven't heard any sort of new hardcore punk bands that like really kind of blew me away, sadly. I mean, some bands that incorporate elements of hardcore punk, but no brand new ones that I've heard. What are the noise starter pack, and what's your noise starter pack, and what are some slept-on genres to start getting into? Maybe try getting into some klezmer or brass music from the Eastern Bloc, or maybe try getting into some Afrobeat, some old school Afrobeats, and that sort of thing. But as far as a noise starter pack, off the top of my head, I don't know as of right now. I mean, definitely some Prurient would probably be thrown in there, and some Merzbow. But I probably should do a starter pack on that. I actually should start working on a new starter pack in general. But thank you very much, Lucas. Simon Mitchell, Yo Melee Melon. Oh, you're for those Algiers and Onda Tropico recommends. In return, check out Samia. If you haven't heard, in the vein of Angel Olsen, Sharon Van Etten, etc., but with Jay Tillman's cynicism, that sounds pretty cool. I'll give that a shot. Thank you. Sounds like an interesting recommendation. You sold it, dude. That was a good sell. Favorite record from the Mekons. Love your live chats. Sorry about that, Crude Brothers, but I don't know their discography well off the top of my head to make a favorite pick on that. But the Crude Brothers actually run a YouTube channel over here where they do I believe they try out hot sauces and eat weird foods and stuff like that, and make a variety of other content styles. And I've been aware of them for a little while now. Once the father in the duo hit me up in an email, which the last one I think I got sidetracked with responding to, and I apologize about that. But yeah, they have a YouTube channel too. Check their shit out. Check out their stuff. The Crude Brothers, because I believe they're putting out new content again. Hey, Anthony, it was nice to see you mention Bonnie Prince Billy in the weekly tracks. What is your opinion of his music that he's released over his career? You're amazing. Keep up what you're doing. I mean, Darkness is a pretty great LP. He has a few other pretty good albums too, but he's just an artist that to me is just a little too understated to really kind of wow me, or at least I guess again, I'll just kind of leave it at understated. I'll leave it at understated. You know, I think I prefer my folk just a little bit more straightforward or maybe even experimental, you know. But he has great records. You know, he's put out some landmark indie folk albums, no doubt. So, you know, respect in the world, respect all. What the fuck am I saying? All the respect in the world to Will Oldham. He's a sagely man in the indie folk scene. Oh, come on now, buddy. Here we go. Do I ever wonder if there are some 10 out of 10 albums flying under your radar? Yes, all the fucking time. Are there any really good albums from the past 5 years or so that you wish you didn't miss? Enjoyed the cooking video, by the way. I actually have already been talking with Austin because I'm planning on doing a video of like 10 albums I wish I reviewed, some of which I was already aware of at the time that I decided not to review them, but I actually regret not having made that decision. So I do have a video coming down the pipe that I have planned, again, of like 10 or 12 records that I wish I gave a review to. So yes, that is on the way. Do look out for it. Fievel Goes West is better than the first A&E movie. Fievel Goes West is a dope children's film. I mean, I do love the story, and it's actually kind of pertinent to our current political landscape because it is a movie of immigration and coming to America to find a better life. So respect to Fievel Goes West. Hey, Anthony, do I listen to any Australian hip-hop? Personally, I recommend Bliss and Esso and Mind Over Matter. Okay. I've had a few recommendations over the years, and I tried out some of the groups that were down there when I last visited, but nothing that really kind of like kept me listening for a few months past my visit in Australia. But I can try out those recommendations because I don't remember anybody sort of throwing them into my lap when I went down there. Let's see, Vex. Have I listened to Nostalgia for Infinity by Sound of Sirius? Robert Schneider, producer of In the Airplane Over the Sea. Also, anyone in chat that needs help with production, search Vex Rosenberg in Google to message me. Well, Vex is maybe going to be producing your new album, but I have not tried out that record. I'll take that recommendation. The In the Airplane Over the Sea connection there sounds intriguing. Hey, Anthony. Will you ever do a classic review of some less talked about 10 out of 10 albums on my Rate Your Music, The Slits, Cut 3 Brain Wee? The 3 Brain Wee 10 out of 10 is entirely ironic. Let's get that out of the way. But I would love to do a review of The Slits Cut one day. If I haven't already, I haven't done a review of The Slits Cut. I haven't done that. I feel like part of me has, or I feel like I know that album well enough to the point where it would be easy. Where I would be able to if I wanted to. Slits. I could have sworn I reviewed that album. No, I didn't. Wow. Huh. Okay. Well, yeah, I should do that one day. I should get around to that. So, no, you're absolutely right. You're correct, good sir. I have a theory. Cal Chesta is Lovecraftian God who will slowly but surely drive you insane. This must be the place as the best Talking Head song. P.S. Recommend me some pop albums you haven't yet. I mean, I don't know what I haven't recommended to you. I mean, could it be like the indie pop record, The Unicorns Who Will Cut Our Hair When We're Gone? Or like, you know, the Postal Service, Give Up? You've probably heard that shit. What is a good, weird pop album that maybe you don't know about that I haven't made a video about? I mean, I don't know what videos you haven't seen. I mean, when I think interesting new pop music, I automatically think of, you know, Know Now from my dude Clarence Clarity. But yeah, I'm just having a brain fart right now. I'm having a brain fart. As far as like older pop albums, you know, maybe some Tiny Tim. He made some crazy pop music. You know, I think as like an art pop artist, I do think Yoko Ono is a little underrated, especially on tracks like Walking on Thin Ice. And I don't know, maybe or like a synth pop release, like maybe Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark or something like that. Definitely check that band out. They have some excellent records. Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. They're an excellent synth pop band. Hey, Anthony, are there any rappers that you feel have a lot of potential but seem to always fall short of dropping a great album? Yes, J. Cole. J. Frickin' Cole. Thank you very much. The Will Show. But yes, J. Cole. Gibson Wells, really love your reviews, Anthony. Which is more important, lyrics or melody? Ugh. It depends on the genre. It depends on the style. It depends on the delivery. But honestly, like, I think these days, maybe more, I would love to hear some great lyrics. I would love to hear some great lyrics. You know, because like, yeah, I just think these days I'd love to hear some great lyrics. That's kind of the mood I'm in at the moment. Let's see. DSA President Nick Mullen. Hey, Nick. Will we ever fix our broken sampling laws? They are a form of corporate censorship, criminalized a thriving art form. Short samples should be free and fair use, and long samples, derivative work should be auto-approved like covers. Yes, I would actually like to see this changed. This is something that I agree with, which people have, I believe, who are on the, you know, the far left and the far right too, who are on the more libertarian end of things, you know, do not like the way that our copyright laws are kind of used to kind of bully people in the creative process, or for music labels to kind of just nickel and dime other artists or prevent other artists from kind of coming up who are using sample-based stuff. I mean, there are a lot of artists that I know that kind of get away with sampling stuff that maybe they shouldn't entirely, because they're more on the underground side of things, so nobody really cares, nobody really minds. But honestly, like, I think it's something that we should fix and should address. Like, I don't know when it's going to happen. I feel like there's too much financial incentive, unfortunately, for it to occur. But honestly, like, the flaws with it run so much deeper than the music industry, because, you know, you're talking about so many amazing technological patents which people could be taking advantage of to advance things like renewable energy and that sort of shit. But there are lots of companies out there that are just sitting on this stuff because they would much rather kind of have proprietary, you know, access to sell it, or they just kind of want to like prevent it from bubbling up because, you know, they're maybe selling a different kind of energy, or a vehicle that feeds off of an alternative type of energy, you know, like oil or gasoline and that sort of thing. And they'd much rather, you know, continue that, which is, again, sucks. It's unfortunate. You know, hopefully this new wave of, you know, populist politicians on the left side of the aisle will get into office and address this bullshit. Ben Schmidt, hey, D'Anthony Sevtano, do I have any recommendations for some great alternative albums over the past few years? I don't know, dude. You got to hit my love list, man. You got to hit my loved list, theneedledrop.com loved list, because, I mean, that's where all those good alternative recommendations are going to be. But, you know, if you're looking for a weird, crazy alternative record or band, I would check out the now defunct Dope Body. You know, they have a few great records, Natural History and what was that other record they came out with afterwards? I can't remember off the top of my head, but Natural History is an excellent album. Anthony Anderson, Dom said he was down to play you in Smash Ultimate for the Mad Catz controller. We need this video, Anthony. Also, will Cal and MC Danglin Balls ever collab? You're my god. I'm still using the 200 characters. I have talked about Dom about doing some kind of Smash Brothers video when the new Smash comes out, and don't worry about it. You know, I'll make it happen, and it'll be for the Mad Catz controller. I asked my friend who doesn't really watch your videos if they had any questions for you while I was here, and they wanted some recommendations for indie shit. Got any neat recommendations? I mean, if they're just calling it indie shit, I don't know how much they know about indie, but, you know, tell them to check out some Yeahs, Fever to Tell, and some Modest Mouse, good news for people, and you know, maybe check out like, you know, Transatlantic, whatever, from fucking Death Cab for Cutie. Maybe check out some Unicorns Who Will Cut Our Hair, some J Retard 2008 singles collection, or Blood Visions. You know, check out some frickin', I don't know, maybe some Husker Du. I know they're not a true blue indie band, but still, maybe The Replacements. Check out The Replacements. Maybe some Dinosaur Jr., maybe some Yo La Tengo. Trying to think of some other 2000s ones. Check out some Arcade Fire. I think that's all. Look up the classic albums from those bands and just kind of start there. So hopefully your friend gets some good listens out of that. I'm assuming your System of a Down thoughts still stand for Darren's new album, Dictator. Sounds similar. It's pretty damn catchy, in my opinion, despite being old song ideas. Closest we're going to get. I don't know. I'll save the recommendation. I'll try to remind myself to try it out. Maybe I'll end up liking it, and maybe you're right. Maybe I'm kind of being dismissive and I should give it a shot. Melon Man says, Klochski. Love your reviews. I just wish you weren't such a fedora. Anyways, what happened to your meme channel? My meme channel got entirely demonetized by YouTube. And so I said, fuck this shit, because YouTube is not going to use my content to push people to other content that they are going to make money off of. Because my content, in my opinion, is perfectly worth running advertisements on. If YouTube can still host the content of Alex Jones, who actively sends out violent threats to public officials like Robert Mueller on camera with no issue whatsoever, then I should be able to monetize some videos that I've made where I talk about memes. But unfortunately on YouTube, the rules don't apply to YouTubers and channels that get tens of millions of views. Yeah, sucks dick. So. Hey, Anthony, really enjoy your work and review style. I was curious about your opinions regarding the band Dream Theater, like, dislike, pros and cons on the band. Yeah, I think their new stuff is just overwrought and just overly produced and boring and just super drab. But, their older records I think are great modern prog rock stuff. Great flashy playing and super tight syncopated grooves and, super technical, super intricate compositions, but not going so overboard it's annoying or so indulgent that it just, I don't know, gives me a headache. But yeah, Dream Theater's fine. They're not my favorite prog band, but they have some important records in the genre. Oh wait, is this Hair Melon Man, have more money. Will mainstream music ever get better than it is going to, or stay in this downward spiral? Yeah, I think mainstream music is always in a moment of downward spiral at some point, because, here's the thing, like, a new trend comes up, it's usually pretty fresh, it's usually pretty cool, but then everybody starts trying to copy it and kind of cheapens it and just really kind of reappropriates it in a really shitty way, and that's kind of what makes things awful. But honestly, I see a lot of creativity in the mainstream these days, because there's a lot more influence from the underground bubbling up into the mainstream than there used to be in the 2000s, when, dance pop and all that shit was ruling the charts, and believe me, it was fucking hell. So I mean, yeah, while there is like a lot of shitty, bad trap music out there kind of ruling the charts, I don't think there could be any other year other than 2018 in which you would have a This Is America hitting #1 in the way that it did. So, I don't think it's all bad. Fernando says, Open Mic is super underrated, and he's one of my favorite artists of all time. Favorite album and why? And check out Sampha the Great, super interesting sound flow delivery. I've checked out Sampha's stuff. I wasn't super crazy about it. But I do, respect her as an artist. She does seem to be kind of marching to the beat of her own drum. And as far as Mike Eagle is concerned, I still think Dark Comedy is probably my favorite of his. Best songs, best sense of humor, most interesting production, coolest concepts. His last record was pretty good too. So, Open Mike Eagle, he's one of the more consistent guys in the underground. So, always respect for Open Mike Eagle. JC. Hey, Anthony, I know you probably get requests all the time, but do I plan to review Ariana Grande's Sweetener next month? Possibly. I have enjoyed pretty much every single so far, so it might be in the cards, even though I haven't really been crazy about her albums in the past. And as far as Billie Eilish goes, I don't really find her music to really be all that unique. Like, I don't think her production choices are all that cutting edge or interesting. Vocally, I find her kind of dime a dozen. I think she puts an interesting visual presentation out there, but I don't really think the music stacks up. However, she seems to be kind of starting out still and is still very young, so plenty of room to grow and advance. And it seems like there are people like Charlie XCX who are big supporters of her, so maybe she'll get pulled more into that kind of cutting edge pop realm. And if she does, I kind of look forward to that transition. You mentioned you like your folk more experimental. What are some experimental folk albums you recommend? I mean, basically anything by Phil Elverum, maybe Holy Modal Rounders, that sort of thing. Or, I don't know, maybe even like Dave Van Ronk or Tongue, you know, for like some weird experimental folktronic stuff. But yeah, you know, those are probably some recommendations that I'd make. Are there any rap lyrics that have stuck with you, stood the test of time, and have otherwise been unforgettable? Thanks for repping No Wave in the last Let's Argue, and for listening to a bit of my next album. Hope you tune in for the full thing, which releases Monday. Celestiphone, thank you very much. I didn't know you had a new album coming out Monday, and I will try to take a look out for it. Releases Monday. Now, as far as the rap lyrics that have stuck with me, I'll probably say that the artists that have put out rap lyrics that have stuck with me the most over the years have been MF Doom, mostly on records like Food and Mad Villainy, Ghostface Killah, throughout multiple Wu-Tang verses, you know, his own solo stuff as well, especially a lot of those Fish Scale verses, which I think are awesome, and Supreme Clientele bars, him. I would say Kendrick. I would say Andre 3000, especially like International Players Anthem. God, his intro on that song is amazing. Who else? Some of Immortal Technique's better stuff. Oh, fucking Mos Def, man. New World Water. Love that song. Love that song. The lyrics on that song definitely have stuck with me over the years. Some Eric B. and Rakim stuff, a lot of Chuck D shit, a lot of Zach De La Rocha stuff, Rage Against the Machine, has stuck with me over the years. Especially Down Rodeo, amazing lyrics on that song. Trying to think of, I mean, that's just off the top of my head. That's just off the top of my head. Yep, I'll move on from there, but thank you very much, for the generous fucking donation there, dude. And I'll give your album a shot Monday. I'll try to give it a shot. Tweet it to me too. Give it a tweetaroo. Boo, Mr. Fandango. Have I checked out Zone Eater versus Sea of Dogs? You reviewed Mesh's Orange Milk debut and mentioned Zone Eater. And I didn't even know Zone Eater had a new one out, but thank you for the recommendation. I'll remind myself to give it a shot. Which is it on Orange Milk? I know I have them saved on Bandcamp, and I should be getting notifications when they come out with a new thing, but I maybe Zone Eater didn't release it through them. But let's see. But thank you very much, and I'll remind myself to give it a shot. All right, Jesse Stumpf. Hey, Melon, you should check out Parachutes by Frank Lero and The Patience. Super emotional and passionate record that I think you love, but also who are you most sad about not feeling so good in me, Stark in Infinity War? Honestly, get ready for the chat to go apeshit, but I've not fucking seen Infinity War yet. I've not seen Infinity War. I'm like pretty much waiting for it to like be on TV and like then I'll watch it. But I haven't even watched it. Like I've just been so fucking swamped. And I think around the time Infinity War came out, I was just like working on tour stuff because my tour was coming up around the corner, and all my free time was just devoted to prepping for the tour. So no, that is another cultural touchstone that I totally missed out on. As I do many, because I'm just sort of like devoting myself completely to this. And my family. So, you know, when I'm not doing shit like this, I like to exercise, cook, and hang out with my family. So let's see. Maximilian, what up, dude? Hey, Melon Boy. Saw you did a question of the week on it a while ago, but have I ever thought about doing a video on my top concept albums, or just to spit off of a few faves right now? Some of my favorite concept albums, probably like, you know, The Wall, Animals, T-Pab. Is In the Court of the Crimson King a concept album? I mean, it should be. Top concept albums. I mean, Good Kid, Mad City is another great one. Geez, I'm having such a fucking brain fart with this top concept albums question. I think the answer to this is that I should probably do a concept album starter pack and just go through my, I don't know, my collection and sort of pick what's the best concept albums. You know, in a way, I think Tony Molina's Dissed and Dismissed is like a weird short song concept album, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm just having a brain fart on this question right now, honestly. But still, Maximilian, thank you very much. Thick as a Brick is another great one. I'm trying to think. Also, Folsom Prison is most certainly a concept album. What the fuck else? I mean, obviously Magical Mystery Tour, but I'm not that crazy about that one. And, you know, quite clearly a Microtonal, you know, from King Gizzard is a concept album, but I'm just having a brain fart here. I'm just going to stop having a brain fart in front of you guys. Favorite Ninja Turtle. My favorite Ninja Turtle when I was a kid was easily Donatello. Thought the stick was cool and thought that him being the smartest turtle was cool because being smart is cool. Colin Andrews. Hey, Melon, I was wondering what your thoughts on The Band are. I love them for their debut album as well as The Last Waltz. I just love their southern folkish sound and lyrics. Have any favorites? Has Bob Dylan worked with them? Because I'm pretty sure I might have heard that, but honestly, I've never gotten deep into the band. Them and the not that they have anything to do with each other, but they have similarly like absurdist meta names that always kind of like maybe prevented me from like trying them out in the way that I should. But I've not tried much of the band. So if you're telling me their debut is great, then I'll try to give that a shot. Academics pitched a new XXL list that would be curated by Adam22, Cole Bennett, and you. Has he mentioned it? You could expose JPEG. I mean, he hasn't hit me up. Academics has my phone number. If he ever wanted to pitch me or ask me about anything, he could easily do that. So, I mean, I don't know if he asks me, but if he doesn't, then I guess he won't. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. But thank you very much, Juan. Jack. Woo, woo, woo. I ever listened to Fleece, the guys from How to Write an Alt J Song. Make some really cool indie. I did not know they did that. That's pretty funny. I've seen a few of their videos before and they were pretty funny. But I didn't know they actually wrote music themselves. I'll try them out. They had a good sense of humor, so hopefully that kind of comes out in their stuff. But yeah, I'll give that a shot. I didn't know they came out with their own shit. But thank you for telling me about that. I didn't know. Also, apparently that dude that does all those like instrumental like beat tutorials, like how to do a beat like this guy, or I'm making a beat like this song in this much music. I forget his name, but he makes some pretty dope music himself too. Shout out to that dude. Brian Courtney. I feel like an awful person not remembering his channel name. Melon. I know you haven't been hot on their new stuff, but I wanted to know what some of your favorite Against Me songs were. I love Disco Before the Breakdown and We Laugh at Danger. We want a band who plays loud and hard every night. Basically, every song off that record and their debut album on Fat Wreck Chords are my favorites. The album they came out with after that wasn't too bad, but honestly, the window of time in which Rage Against the Machine was coming out with truly compelling, not Rage Against the Machine, Against Me, was coming out with truly compelling music is very small. Also, a lot of the acoustic and more stripped back 45s they came out with before that. Also, what is that song? Yes, I Still Love You, Julie is fucking amazing. I love that song. That guitar lick at the start. I fucking loved that lick. And I just loved it. I loved, at the time, Tom screaming on that song. Obviously, Laura Now. if I'm remembering her name correctly. Or her screaming on that record, on that song, was amazing. Yeah, those are some of my favorite Against Me tracks. And also, yeah, Laugh at Danger is a great song too. And that one track that they had that was like in tribute to their van, like their old touring van or whatever, I thought was great too. Hey, Thickening Vegan Tano, trying to go vegan, but I fucking love eggs. I don't know what to replace it with. Please advise. I don't know. Honestly, like, here's the thing. I feel like going vegan, my ability in doing so meant kind of letting go of this idea that like a certain thing needs to get replaced with another thing. I mean, the hardest thing for me to give up when I went vegan was cheese. Maybe that was because I still worked at a pizza place, so it was kind of like around me. So it was like kind of like a little weird. But eggs weren't really that difficult to give up. I mean, nowadays when I smell eggs cooking, I fucking hate it. Just like eggs smell like old man farts to me. I just think the smell is awful. I haven't tasted an egg in a while, so I don't even know if the taste would still appeal to me. I can kind of remember the taste of eggs, and maybe I would still think they tasted okay if they were like cooked in a way that I liked. But these days, I just think the smell of eggs is just shit. And I don't know. See, here's the thing. Like, sometimes like your love of something comes a lot from the familiarity that you have with it. And once I kind of distance myself from some things for an extended period of time, like my desire to eat them or have anything to do with them just like completely dissipated as I just started to eat other things. I mean, look, there are other breakfast foods out there. You could make vegan waffles or pancakes. You could just make the granola that I just made. You know, there's cereal. There's vegan sausages options out there too. You could start off your day with a protein-packed fruit and veggie smoothie or something like that. You know, I wouldn't say, hey, I need to find something that tastes like eggs and replace that egg thing with another egg thing. Replace the routine, replace the concept, replace the idea entirely with a different idea. I mean, again, I personally start off my day with some granola I made, dried fruit, if I make some tofu scramble, I'll like take tofu and maybe that'll be the next recipe video. I'll do like a tofu scramble and then I'll teach you guys how to make that. So, so I guess look out for that cooking video on the Fantano channel. I'll do a tofu scramble. Alrighty. Hey, Anthony Alvarez. Thank you very much. Woo! Wanted to recommend Mac Aris debut EP Drive Slow. Also, Joey Dosick is teasing his debut album next month, White Boy with Soulful Lyrics. I recommend a few months ago. Thanks for showing me great music. Well, thank you for the recommendations. I'll try to try out that EP, and I'll look out for Joey's new deal too. I'll actually try to try out some more of his music so, I see if I like it before I get into whatever new shit he drops. What is my favorite Led Zeppelin album? Maybe either 3 or Physical Graffiti, which I think is kind of underrated. Yeah, one of those two. Anthony, what if Serge and Darren are lying about the state of System of a Down and they actually release an album when we don't expect it at all? Well, if they did, and that was the case, that would be awesome. So let's hope that theoretically you're right. Although I don't see any reason for like every band member to lie and also to be waiting for the opportunity to release a new album for this long. So I don't know. Harley, I hope you're right, but I don't know if it's that likely. Aced, Anthony, can you say, do not walk barefoot through a chestnut forest? Okay, this better not be like some weird secret code for something, but do not walk barefooted through a chestnut forest. Also, please rate the 10s of this decade worst to best. I think T-Pab, The Money Store, To Be Kind, and Kitsy Ghosts. Worst to best David Bowie when? I do not know. That would take a million years. We'll see what happens after I get the next worst to best done. The Talking Heads one. John Smith, let's argue. One Hot Minute is Red Hot Chili Peppers' masterpiece. Dave Navarro pushed their sound into new epic territories, and it features the most creative songwriting. And Red Hot Chili Peppers fans are pussies for shunning it. I personally do think Blood is their best record. However, One Hot Minute is one of their better records. I think it's a good record. Aeroplane's great on there. Obviously, Bridge is on there. There are a lot of good songs on there. One Hot Minute should not be shunned. It's certainly a more consistent record than Stadium Arcadium, in my opinion. Definitely an underrated record in the Red Hot Chili Peppers discography. Had the tape when I was a kid, loved it. Still think it's a good record to this day. So One Hot Minute is not that bad, as some people might think it is. Thoughts on all the following: All Them Witches, Witchcraft, The Sword. Okay, I don't think I've tried All Them Witches. Witchcraft, I'm not sure which artist you're talking about. And The Sword, I just think are okay. I just think their riffs are all right. I think the vocals are all right. The production is just so-so. I personally have a hard time kind of seeing the hubbub about The Sword. I get that they're a little more epic than your average rock band, but I don't know. It just doesn't go far enough in my opinion. Politicrat. Hi, Melon. Have you ever listened to fan extended albums like Dorian Ye's Life of Paul, the Layman's Jesus, Pablo Extended? Personally, I haven't. I've listened to like some fan remix albums and stuff like that, and those are pretty cool. But honestly, I've never listened to any stuff like that. That's sort of I guess a weird internet corner that I haven't explored yet, honestly. But maybe I'll save this and I'll try to check it out and I'll see what's up. See what's up with this weird trend of fans extending albums. Eric Hernandez. Hey, Anthony, have I checked out Tech Death Band Revocation? I have. I think their stuff is okay. They dropped a new song recently and have a new album dropping in September. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them someday. Also, any recommendations from that genre? None off the top of my head outside of like, I don't know, classic bands like, I guess maybe they're more mellow death. I was going to say Carcass, but it's more of a technical death metal band that I think is great. What the fuck is the name of that band? Am I thinking of the right band? I need to verify if I'm thinking of the right band. I don't want to say their name wrong, or because sometimes I mix up my death metal bands. Yes, Gorguts. I think is a great. I think they're pretty technical. They're pretty avant-garde at times too. But them, I think they're pretty great. And also the other band that I wanted to say that I think is a cool technical death metal band is Deathspell Omega. Maybe their stuff isn't as clean as some people might like their tech death to be, but I think they're pretty great. But as far as the new Revocation goes, yeah, I mean, generally I think they're okay. I haven't really heard an album of theirs that kind of blew me away. To me, I'm not saying they're stylistically similar, but they're, in my view, kind of like a band like Skeleton Witch. You hear them, they're solid, they're really good. There's good production, there's good playing and everything, but the songs are just like okay, and they don't really kind of come off as distinct as maybe you want them to, at least for me anyway. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Pearson McKenzie. Mr. Mellon, have I heard any Dutch rap? Personally, I've not really gotten to any Dutch or Netherlands rap or anything like that. So I don't have any opinions, but I'll try to give a shot to Fabriello. Maybe it's good. But I don't know. I guess I'll see. But still, thank you for asking, and thank you for donating and supporting. Senior Saint. Can I mention the rock scene in Australia right now? Tame Impala, King Gizzard sounds so dynamic and fresh to me. Did the USA put down the guitar and pick up the rap mic? Love the channel. Yes, I absolutely think they did. I think there are lots of interesting rock bands and artists coming out of Australia right now, because right now in Australia, like, rock music is still currently thriving, and that's not to say that there isn't cool rock music coming out in the US. The OCs are really cool. Again, although, it's not a US band. I'm trying to think of I thought of another, example there, but they were actually outside of the country. I think Algiers is really cool. But I do think, as far as like rock music that has its roots clearly in, the institution, in the classics, Australia is the place. And again, it's because just the scene out there, the audience down there still demands it. And so a lot of the younger artists who want to come up with fresh, experimental, cutting edge ideas, they start coming out with rock music, as opposed to over here where young people, they want to listen to a different genre. They're on a different tip. So, you know, that's where the creativity is going right now, you know, because that's the thing. It's always the youth. It's always the next generation that brings the new wave of creativity, that brings the change. And a lot of that youth, they're not going straight into making a rock record. They're making a trap record. They're making an experimental hip hop record. They're making some weird electronic record or something like that. So, you know, that's kind of where the creativity is being focused right now in the younger generation. So, DSA President Nick Mullen, how do I feel about super earnest left-wing folk music like Pete Seeger, Billy Bragg, Violent Para, Phil Oakes, Woody Guthrie? Personally, I think Phil Oakes is hella fucking underrated. Does not get mentioned enough in the 60s contemporary folk genre. Like, I Ain't Marching Anymore is an amazing album. The stuff that he says on that record is so fucking like I'm not skipping to the next question or anything. I'm just trying to finish my thought before I go on to the next one. It's so politically sharp, you know, from tracks like, you know, Mississippi, you know, to the Draft Dodgers rag, and even tracks that he came out with that weren't on that track, like Love Me, I'm a Liberal. Like the archetype of Love Me, I'm a Liberal is still so fucking relevant in 2018. It's scary. And Phil Oakes is fucking awesome. Now, I haven't heard every single artist that you got there. Actually, I haven't heard. I need to remind myself. I have not actually gotten into much Billy Bragg stuff at all. So that's a good reminder right there. But certainly Phil Oakes was amazing and probably is my favorite performer out of the bunch that you listed there, out of the ones that I was aware of. But yes, I do need to get into some Billy Bragg, and Pete Seeger is pretty cool too. In Rex Orange County, it's funny, like every live stream somebody asks about Rex Orange County. Yeah, I think he's pretty cool. You know, I think the work he's done with Tyler is cool. I kind of regret not reviewing his last record, but I'm looking forward to covering his stuff into the future. I think he's got a cool voice, and it's soulful, and it's sweet, and it's cute, and the white boys seem to love him. So you know, I'm looking out for him. William Kessler. Hey, Melon, I was wondering, what's your urge to review music and put your opinions out there? Or what was my urge? Also, if I haven't yet, you should check out Dream Wife. They might be up my alley. No, that's a different band. I was thinking of a band called Wife. I'll save that. But anyway, the urge for me to do so was just experimenting, because here's the thing, like the needle drop before the YouTube channel was a podcast. It was a website, but it wasn't really going anywhere. And I was like, okay, you know, if I'm going to do this, I got to do it in a way where, you know, it's new, it's fresh, it's different. It's, you know, it's just the new wave or whatever, you know, I'm going to just try something different. And I thought doing reviews on camera would work. Now, beforehand, I didn't really do too many reviews on podcasts and on my blog either, because I didn't really like doing them. So it was really kind of pushing myself outside of my comfort zone to do something that I didn't really care to do. You know, not only be on camera, because at the time I hated being on camera, and also to do reviews. And at the time I didn't really want to do reviews at all. You know, I'd much rather just kind of give quick recommendations in a blog post. But, you know, that's the thing. If you really want to get something out of something, you have to do sometimes something that's going to kind of, you know, push you out of your comfort zone and is going to require kind of maybe a higher level of effort out of you. And it was certainly a challenge to do what I did at first, and sort of a big risk too, but I'm, you know, really happy it paid off. And now I'm at a point where I love doing it. So no complaints. Hey, did I get a chance to listen to Supreme Blind Tell? I did, but I just thought it was like a really kind of messy, ill-conceived album. Like the verses just seem kind of scattered and all over the place. I just find West Side Gun's delivery to be kind of obnoxious. And I mean, some of the beats are kind of cool and lo-fi and grimy, but I don't know. It just didn't really stand out to me, honestly, which might, you know, have some of the super underground, like super, you know, like crazy diehard hip hop heads pissed off, because maybe they see it as like kind of being a return to, like, you know, the nastiness of of like, I don't know, Def Jux or something like that. You know, not entirely, but you know, I could see like some Def Jux fans getting into it. But personally, I just think it's all right. I just think it's all right. Do I think Cudi will make more accessible music from this point on, like early in his career? How influential will KSG be in years to come? I think there is some potential for it to be influential if some artists like start working different genres together, you know, in kind of an amalgamation. But I think there's already incentive to do that. Now, Cudi, I personally, like, I don't really care for a lot of his latest music, but I don't think his newest records are not really that inaccessible. You know what I mean? Like, clearly Speeding Bullet to Heaven was a one-off. Like, he's probably not going to come out with another record like that ever again. But still, having said that, I think Cudi's just going to do Cudi. I don't really think he worries all that much about what's mainstream and what's not. I just think he's going to do him. Noel. Hey, Anthony. Love and respect all the way from Ireland. What's up? Woo. Any cool bands and artist t-shirts you recommend? Also, I have Joy Division Unknown Pleasures shirt, which I absolutely love. Keep up the channel. I recommend that maybe you go on Relapse Records and get yourself a nice Death shirt. Like, the Death shirts they have over there are pretty sick. Nails puts out some cool shirts. Sun. And also, like, back when I was living in another place in Connecticut, and I was doing the needle drop, and I was like eating like crap and staying up late every night till 3 a.m. editing. I got really fat, and I had a bunch of band shirts that didn't fit me anymore, so I just kind of passed them down to my wife. And now I'm not as fat as I was, and she's like had all those band shirts for a long time and just kind of like, you know, uses them as pajamas and stuff. And I kind of stole one back from her, and one of them was a Misfits shirt, and I put it back on and it actually fit, and I was like, hell yeah, I got to wear this fucking Misfits shirt again. Fuck yeah. So, you know, if you can get like a nice Misfits shirt or like a nice Dead Kennedy shirt, that'd probably be cool too. A Public Enemy shirt or like a Wu-Tang shirt is cool too. Could you listen to my debut song called Fading Slow on Spotify on here? Search Laneson. I mean, I can give it a shot, but I do not really listen to songs sort of like live in person during the live stream. I apologize. It's not really what the live streams are about. It's more about like answering and asking questions and stuff, but I can try to give it a shot and sort of put it in my recommendation pocket. Like I have, let's see, about a dozen so far here. So it's in my recommendation pocket, and I'll try to get to it before the next live stream. And if I end up digging it, then you know, I'll probably say something about it on Twitter. So Peter K. Norgard, very distinguished name there. I get full score reviews in my country, but can't get anyone international to listen. Will you listen to my EP, Ketopa? Experiment with genres. It's on my channel. Stream sites takes 11 minutes. Well, it's honestly like, it might suck that you're not getting a whole lot of international coverage, but honestly, like, and you know, I'll take your recommendation here, but listen, you got to get started somewhere, you know, and if you're getting local coverage already, like, that's a very good sign. And also, like, you know, quite a bit of the pop and rock music that comes from Northern Europe that does well over there eventually kind of makes its way over to the States, at least in some way, shape, or form. So, you know, keep at it. Keep putting out good stuff. Like, if you haven't come out with a music video, I would try, like, coming out with a good music video, because these days, like, everything is visual. Everything is about viral success and spreading. So, hey, you know, if you're getting some reviews already and some press, at least in your own local area, that's like half the battle. That's half the battle, getting the ball rolling. Disintegration by The Cure or Unknown Pleasures by Joy Division. I would say, who wins the battle for gothic rock? I would say Disintegration, because I don't really see Unknown Pleasures as that much of a goth rock record. So yeah, I'd have to go with Disintegration. I mean, Unknown Pleasures is a classic post-punk album, and I would say that there are certainly like some foundational goth influences there, but I would say that Disintegration is the more key goth release. Can I get a damn, that's a thick ass boy? Also, instead of music, what was your favorite movie of 2017? What was my favorite movie of 2017? you know, I didn't see a whole lot of movies in 2017, but I did see The Shape of Water, and I enjoyed that quite a bit, and I was glad that it got the awards that it got, because I thought it was a fun, interesting, compelling movie, even if there were some parts of it that I thought were kind of corny. So, yeah, I'm just a normie. I'm a normie piece of shit. Let's see. Ven Gerot. Will I ever consider doing a Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds worst to best? That would be such a huge undertaking, but I would consider it. Where would Fear of Music be in your ranking of Talking Heads albums? You want me to spoil that already? I mean, where would it be? It would certainly be over More Songs. It would certainly be over 77. I don't know if it would be over, Remain in Light as of right now. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. But, and 3, is Avalanche's Since I Left You worth a classic review? Yes, it is. I was actually thinking about that last week. Yo, Melon, what's your opinion of British punk bands like The Damned, The Clash, and how do you think they compare to their American counterparts like the Dead Kennedys and Minor Threat? Personally, I prefer the American stuff, though, I don't know. I think there are exceptions, though. I love Crass, and I do think I do think the Clash, though, were a much better, I guess I would say, pop band than they were a punk band. Like, the Clash's debut record, I think, is one of their least compelling. Like, I think their follow-up is better, and I think London Calling is not really that punk of an album. Yeah, I just don't see it that way. You know, I think it's too versatile and diverse of a record, and incorporates too many elements of blues and jazz and funk and reggae. I mean, listen, that's to say it's not really a punk album stylistically. I don't think is a slight against it in any way. I think it's a great record. I actually think it's one of the greatest rock records of all time, period, hands down. Not a bad song on that record, honestly. And probably a 10 out of 10. But, and The Damned were fantastic. And I would say Americans did punk and hardcore punk, more interesting. However, I think the Brits did post-punk more interesting, Joy Division, New Wave, like New Order, Orchestral Maneuvers that I mentioned earlier, Depeche Mode, a lot of the 80s goth stuff that came out. So while, on the punk side of things, I do think I give it a little bit more to America. But when it comes to post-punk and synth-pop and all that shit, the UK definitely has it fucking locked down. Looking for retrospect of centuries, what are 21st iconic and brilliant artists of the 50s? Elvis and Ray, then Beatles. Iconic and what are the 21st iconic and brilliant artists? 50s. Then what are our ones? Oh, I see. What are our ones or your list? What are our ones? I mean, for this decade, I would have to say it's got to be Kendrick. It's got to be Death Grips. It's, contextually, it's Drake. It's Kanye West. It's Jack White. It's Arcade Fire. It's LCD Sound System. It's Bjork. Those are some examples that I could think of that contemporary, artists of like the past 15 years. Those are the artists that I think are the greats of this generation. And there are more out there. And you guys already know who I love and I don't love from watching my reviews, and who I haven't and have given very positive reviews to our albums of the year. Of course, Danny Brown and Josh Tillman and all that stuff. The Knife, Fever Ray, that sort of thing. Animal Collective. But yeah, I think there's no shortage of fantastic artists for this generation. And I think those are certainly some examples. Buena Vista Social Club, classic album review ever. I mean, that would be a pretty fun one, possibly. Do I listen to much of the less well-known but incredible styles of Caribbean music like calypso, soca, chutney, cumbia, steel pan? Some of it I do, but a lot of it, when I do listen to it, I end up kind of getting introduced to through compilations on like, what the hell is the record label? I have it on my CD deck, not my CD deck, but my CD stack over there. I'm just going to have to actually I'm going to literally turn around here because I'm having a brain fart because I'm a total moron. dropping my phone like a dumbass. But yeah, whenever I listen to that stuff, I'm often turned on to it through compilations like these off of Soundway Records. Like, they always come out with excellent compilations of South American music, of African music, and, you know, you get tons of great tracks that are usually remastered very well for your money in great compilations like these. And they have a Panama Special series that I have every CD in, and it's just fire, track after track after track after track. So, you know, while I am aware of Buena Vista and some bands in that vein and in that style, you know, and major acts like Tito Puente and shit like that. But when I'm listening to more obscure stuff and kind of getting down to the more folksier roots of those styles, I'm usually introduced to it through stuff like this. And Soundway does a good job. I mean, all the credit in the world to them, because they uncover some great shit. I heard you were talking about concept albums. Have I heard of my favorite concept album? Hadestown. Yes, I have heard of that one, but I don't think I've reviewed it. I know it was recent, wasn't it? Let me remind myself here. Doesn't it have like an image of a woman on the front? Yes. I have heard this record, but I didn't really have any feels on it. I don't know. Maybe I need to revisit it. Yeah. You know, came out in 2016. I remember seeing people like kind of, you know, freak out about it. Folk opera. Yeah. I don't know. I'll try to give it a shot. I did see it get recommended. I think NPR was freaking out about it a little bit, but I wasn't all that enamored with some of what I heard. But hey, you know, maybe I gotta give it another shot, give it another headspace, and maybe it'll end up on my list of albums I wish I reviewed. Oh, frig, I missed that one. Or at least I think I did. Maybe I got to it. Colin Andrews. When I talked about the band and I meant to recommend their self-titled album, not their debut, they used to open up for Dylan and have collaborated together a lot. Yeah, I have heard some of his stuff he's done with the band, but I haven't heard much of the band's own stuff. Definitely check that album out if I... Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Colin. Woo! Let's see. Hey, Melon. Much love. Wanted to know if you've kept up with the Pablo Collective post-death of Pablo. Yeah, they've sent a few things to my email inbox, some of which I've shared on Twitter here and there. It sounds like they're kind of doing some cool experimental stuff. But I haven't really gotten too deep into a lot of what they've done, like listen to it all the way through, unfortunately. But yeah, they're still doing some cool things. Check out the Pablo Collective on Bandcamp. They got some good stuff going on over there. What are my thoughts on Sisters of Mercy? They're one of my favorite bands, and I consider Floodland to be one of the best albums I've ever heard. I don't think I've gotten that deep into Sisters of Mercy shit. Let me see. It's goth rock, isn't it? Yes, it is. And I believe I believe there was a moment on the new I want to say the new frickin' Mountain Goats album where he like referenced some of their stuff. Yeah, I need to get into this. I've been waiting I've been putting this off. All right, I got to do it before I do the next live stream. I had to do it before I do the next live stream because I literally have no thoughts on it. And I've been meaning to get more into goth stuff recently. So, but Floodland will be what I start with. Thank you, Melon. Got one more question. What's my favorite Bandcamp release that I've never mentioned on the show? I mean, if I love a Bandcamp release, I mention it on the show. So, I mean, I can't really say I have one that I love that I haven't mentioned. The Zone Eater record is on Chamber 38. Oh, okay. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it one day. Okay. You know, I might give it a shot. And let me see. I saved your thing from earlier, so I don't need to save this one again. But it's on my recommendation list, or my reminder list. A Crashing Hypothesis. What's up, Cantaloupe Fantaloupe? It's a good one. I was wondering, where would Neon Bible rank in an Arcade Fire worst to best? Also, where would I rank a worst to best on? Rank a worst to best of online music critics? Just kidding, you the best. I'd probably, you know, obviously their debut would be top for me. I would definitely rank Neon Bible above their last couple of records, and I actually might rank it under The Suburbs because I think The Suburbs is a little underrated. I think it's a great record. People love it, but I love the concept of it. Yeah, you know, I just think the concept is more interesting. And, you know, I kind of like the more Americana vibe that's kind of coming off in the tunes on that record. Have I heard Frank Zappa's Thingfish, peak Zappa oddity, and frankly underrated as a ballsy concept album? I actually haven't. That's not a Zappa release I've heard. Is that more in his like orchestral period? Like what the hell is that record? Yellow something. I'm trying to remind myself. One of his late era things. Not that. Yes, it is during that era. Okay, you know, I'll try to remind myself to try that one out. Yeah, I don't think I haven't even heard that one. Yeah, I have heard Jazz from Hell and that sort of thing, experimental rock, comedy rock, rock opera, vaudeville. Oh, wow, it doesn't even look like he's doing any of that on this record. But rock opera and vaudeville. All right, I don't know, I'll try to give it a shot. Is it a live record? Because his live records are usually pretty entertaining. It's 90 minutes, though. I don't know if I'm going to be listening to it anytime soon. But thank you for reminding me. Maybe it is ballsier than some people are giving it credit for. Let's see. Nigel Grab. Hey, Melthany Budentano. Wondering if you've heard Midnight Oil's Head Injuries. I haven't. In my opinion, it's a brilliant post-punky anthemic gem. Okay. And with heaps of character. Also, System of a Down Toxicity for classic review. That would be some. I was thinking about maybe doing a classics week where I just talk about 2000s albums, you know, like 2000s stuff. Because the 2000s stuff is about to become old enough to be classic, so I was sort of considering that. Do I know about Amalou? Is this another one of the Ligmas, the Bofas? Amalou, or is this like a legit recommendation here? It might be. I might actually be fucking it up there. Oh no, okay. It is actually a legitimate music recommendation. I was waiting for someone to be like, Amalou my balls, Amalou these nuts. No, I am not aware of Amalou. So I apologize for that. Oh, some people are saying the stream is lagging. Ugh. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about the stream lagging. Maybe I'll wait a minute about that. Shit. Why the hell is the stream lagging? Shit, internet. God damn it, internet. God damn it, the internet. Why is the internet so crap? The lag, your internet sucks. My internet does suck today, which I don't know why. I don't know why my internet sucks. It's really fucking obnoxious and upsetting. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. I'm hoping that you can. Yaw, lag, F. Hopefully it rights itself. Okay, it looks like we're sort of back in the green now, kind of, I hope. Jesus Christ. But F. All right, I don't know. I don't think me refreshing is going to do anything, guys. Me refreshing is literally just not going to change anything. All right, I think we're kind of back where we need to be. So it's telling me that we're running higher. It's the lag seems to have kind of let up a little bit. Oh, no, maybe it's back. I don't know. I'm just going to try to continue. But would I ever do a gaming channel? I might consider doing some gaming videos when I do maybe a video about frickin' the word I want to say is Super Smash Brothers. The new Super Smash Brothers record, not record, but a game is coming out soon at some point. So I am hoping to talk about the new Smash Brothers game and maybe do some streaming on that. But as of right now, I don't plan on doing a gaming channel or anything like that. Again, maybe some like streams and stuff where I play some Smash, but outside of that, like no. Let's see. Have I heard of the indie folk pop group Wild Child? They write some really tight songs. I have not, but I'll take that recommendation in my pocket and see what's up. GGF. Oh no, he's sussing to revival. LMAO, he doesn't give AF. I effed. I effed, guys, okay? I effed. And nothing happened. Nothing happened when I effed. I mean, hopefully the lag isn't as bad now. But, no, guys, I effed. I'm telling you, I effed. Okay? Someone saying, yaw. The lag isn't as bad as the production on Revival. I don't even know what it looks like when it lags. It seems like you guys still can hear what I'm saying, but I don't know. Lag, lag, lag. Speeding bullet to heaven is better than this stream. Oh, no. Is the lag that bad? Oh, no. Press F if you think Revival is a masterpiece. Oh, no. He got you, guys. He got you. Oh, no. I'm hoping this lag kind of lets up because it seems like it's really fucking ruining everything. Lag Tano, tongue punch my fart BX. What's your favorite Neil Breen movie? Oh, I just watched that one recently where he had the doll babies everywhere and he was in the car accident and bleeding from his face and all that shit. So, and that one was kind of fun. Angelic to the lag. Everyone beat their meat to help his internet. Oh, that will certainly help. Beating the meat. Alex Patterson, thank you very much. Ugh, seems like the lag is really fucking everything up. Some people are saying I quit, and I didn't quit. I'm still here. Still here doing this thing. It says Anthony is offline. Oh, no. What the fuck? Yeah, I just need to stop and start again. I don't know. I just started streaming again. I just hit the reset button. I don't know. But it looks like everything's just still kind of messed up. My internet's fucked, bro. My internet's fucked today. And I don't know why. Thank you. Appreciate you, Melon, but I'm also broke. It's cool. It's cool, ZLA. Zila. I'm sorry that the stream is getting ruined by this lag. Fuck, man. It's like going down to like crazy low numbers, and that's obnoxious as fuck. Oh, man. I apologize, guys. This is bad. This is terrible. Well, seems like this live stream is ruined by the lag. I'll try to answer Ben's question. Hopefully you can see. Please respond to my Brockhampton related tweet and let's argue. It's a funny one. Also, since you like Bruce Hack, check out Clap Clap. It's techno mixed with traditional African music and it fucking slaps. I don't remember which question is yours from the Let's Argue. And I've already shot this week's Let's Argue, so I apologize if I end up, sorry if I don't end up getting to, to your question this week, but maybe try again next week. But I will take that recommendation and give it a shot, give it a try. All right, let's. I'm about to take a photo right here because I don't know what else to do. I'm just aggravated about the stream being shit. Just upset about this stream shittiness. It's breaking my heart. It's breaking my heart to have this stream being all laggy. All I can do right now is this. Hey, Comcast, suck my dick. You're fucking stupid, Comcast. I hate you, Comcast. You can suck my dick. I'm really disappointed in you, Comcast. Fucking Comcast. Fucking Comcast. Fucking Comcast. Pissing me off. Comcast. Pissing me off. Fucking pissing me off, Comcast. Internet fuck Comcast. Notice you didn't review the past two Autechre albums. Is it too much material to manage? Yeah, pretty much. It's too much material to manage. I just cannot sift through all of it. It's just too much. And I don't see the point in releasing so much stuff at once. I really don't. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll have the time, but I really don't, because I would have to give up so many days of reviews just to sit down and pull apart like a 5-hour and 8-hour release. I just really would not be able to. Yeah, maybe I should switch to AOL Internet. Maybe it would be better. Let's see. How integral do I think it is for schools to fund fine arts such as band, orchestra to help build musicianship in young people? I think it's integral. I think it's really important. I think it's sad that, like, federally, we don't really put much, if any, money toward the arts. You know, it sucks. It's bullshit. You know, I wholeheartedly believe in music programs in schools and putting instruments in kids' hands. And unfortunately, just right now, we're not doing it. You know, we're not doing it to the degree that we could or we should. Review the Doom album by Mick Gordon. It's really fucking beautiful. I'd say it's industrial, but it's really like nothing else I've ever heard before. All right, I'll take that recommendation. And I'm fresh lag for rotting melons. Yeah, it's still lagging. All right, guys, I think I'm just gonna have to cut this thing short because it's just not fucking going, and I'm just pissed off at Comcast. So I don't know. I apologize for things going so shit as a result of the lag, but I can see how heavily it is. It's going down to 0 kilobytes a second now in the corner, which is aggravating as fuck. It's just kind of like jumping around like insanity. I just don't know what the problem is. It's just kind of just jumping up, down like crazy, and it's just so inconsistent. It's shit. Ugh. The lag is due to no net neutrality in the U.S. Most definitely, yes. Although I believe Connecticut has passed a net neutrality protection law, so I still should be okay. But apparently I'm not. I'm not still okay. I hope I'm not getting dosed. I hope not. That would suck. But ugh. I'm sorry, guys. It seems like this is really fucked right now. I'm gonna have to turn back on this shitty ass internet.